Thank you for Adelaide Capital to have the opportunity to present GR Silver Mining. It's a young company, 2 years old, and we have a lot to tell the audience. And because today we are a company that controls the key silver and gold assets in the Rosario Mining District, including the latest acquisition, the Plomosas silver project from First Majestic. The traditional cautionary statement, and it is available on our website, and I'm moving to slide number 3. This map here is the location of the portfolio. Again, all the red concessions are the concessions that we control in the Rosario Mining District and this part of Sinaloa in Mexico. Our business is silver, gold, resources expansion and development stage project in the Rosario Mining District. As I was saying before, what makes GR Silver to be different from other players in the district in this region of Mexico? We are the first company to be in a position to say that we control the key silver assets in this district. The history in the past was that a lot of different companies have different concessions and pieces of the district. And in the last 2 years, we've been able at low cost to really consolidate the district. To the point that today, with the latest acquisition of the Plomosas, we also acquired 100% of concessions exactly in the middle of Fresnillo exploration project in the Rosario City, which is the location of the historical Rosario mine. You can see in blue. The yellow is an area that we have exclusivity to acquire 100% until December. Is the past producer La Trinidad open pit gold mine. We are doing due diligence at the moment, and at the advanced stage, there will be some more studies and investigations to validate all the upside potential for discoveries and finally complete the consolidation. And slide number 4, we've been successful in the last 2 years to investigate, to study a lot of the prospects in that district. And San Marcial was the first one that we acquired 100% from SSR Mining. And it's part of our acquisition strategy to be always looking at low cost. To give you an idea, our acquisition cost is 13 cents per ounce of silver. And we have increased the resource at San Marcial since we acquired in May 2018. Today at San Marcial, we have 40 million ounces of silver. Most of these ounces can be potentially open pit, which brings a lot of opportunities for business. Not many silver mines in Mexico particularly can start open pit. It's very common to be underground, which really tends to be much more higher cost. And now with Plomosas that's very close to San Marcial, we are moving into a situation in this year and the next year where we see that we can de-risk the assets because Plomosas was a past producer. It was operated by Grupo Mexico until early 2000. And then First Majestic took over all the junior companies. But this project, Plomosas, brings permits, infrastructure, a lot of exploration data, so the company doesn't need to deploy a lot of capital. We got a project with more than 500 drill holes. None of these holes were ever released. Some are historical, some are recent, 2016 and 18. And with our knowledge of the district today, post investigations at San Marcial, we believe that we can discover more gold and silver other than the traditional lead and zinc in that area of Plomosas. And in the future, in the next 2 years, the major goal will be to consolidate the assets and be more at development stage. Slide number 5. So the capital structure of the company is still a very small number of shares. Outstanding 87 million shares outstanding. So fully diluted 99. You can see on the right side the performance in the last 60 days. We have outperformed a lot of the players in the market. That's supported by the most recent news releases. We put a lot of drill hole results based on the evaluation, validation of some of the drill holes at Plomosas. And also we got an offer, which is very uncommon for a junior company of this size, a bought deal, which started at 5 million and suddenly became an $8.1 million bought deal with a lot of interest from resource funds, existing shareholders such as First Majestic and other mining companies and high net worth individuals that are very bullish about silver and gold in this market. Slide number 6 is about the experience of the management, board of directors, and advisory board. Key executives of this company are fluent Spanish. We conduct business in Spanish when we go to Mexico. Most of them have been doing business not only at exploration, but also financing, M&A, and banking in Mexico. The board, successful track records on many large-size transactions in many jurisdictions, and the advisory board, well-known executives that run well-known companies and silver companies in Mexico or gold companies in Canada. The slide number 7 is a very important slide because we are comfortable today to start to compare and analyze how the Plomosas and San Marcial area on the left side of this map here is very similar to the San Dimas mine, which is a large mining district today controlled by First Majestic. We've been able in the last 2 years to do a lot of studies and also investigate and visit the San Dimas mine. And today we believe that the geological setting means the rocks, the structures that control the silver and gold mineralization at San Dimas are also present at Plomosas. The only difference that in the past Group Mexico did not fully investigate this, and we are coming across more and more results of high silver and gold and no lead and zinc, which gave us a lot of comfort to say we have more here at Plomosas. And Plomosas is very close to San Marcial. If you look on the slide 7, San Marcial on the right side here is only 5 kilometers. And other than the extensive database of more than 500 drill holes at Plomosas, 6 areas. If you look here at this portion here, we have 6 areas on average. We have 100 drill holes, surface and underground. We have more than 16 areas, these stars, that are areas or targets that we have identified because a lot of money was spent in the past year of exploration targets. So in addition to that, we have the San Marcial, which we have 40 million ounces already. And we are going to embark in a very aggressive program to prepare all the 6 areas for resource estimation and also some additional drilling. And in San Marcial as well, we have probably 8 targets that we are working now, and we are drilling as we speak, some of them. On slide number 8, is just to give an idea about why Plomosas is important. As I said before, a lot of capital was deployed at Plomosas. Exploration by 2 large companies, Group Mexico and First Majestic, close to $18 million. Whatever subject, geophysics, geochemistry, a lot of drilling, 100,000 meters of drilling completed. We have most of the core. Infrastructure at Plomosas was a mine. The Plomosas mine, exactly on this area, is the only site that was mined, underground mine by Group Mexico, producing lead and zinc concentrates. But now we have all these 6 areas with the drill holes and the infrastructure, roads, power line, underground development. We are embarking very soon to start planning to drill underground at Plomosas because we have 8,000 meters of underground tunnels. Everything is permitted here up to operations. And in the future, we can combine these 2 concessions and turn it into a single project. Just to give a zoom in into the 6 areas, we have 6 areas of drill holes again. We are concentrating on this area here named San Juan, and also concentrate on the Plomosas because of accessibility, and we have identified a lot of very attractive high-grade silver on top of the existing lead and zinc mineralization. I'm going to provide a detail of the San Juan today and the Plomosas, showing the location of the holes and what we have discovered that makes different than other companies which control the assets in the past. This is the San Juan area. In a very summary way, you have 2 colors here, the red colors, the red lines and the blue lines. What do they mean? They mean different structures. The red lines are faults that are normally 45 degrees, 50 degrees, and the blue lines are faults that are vertical. They are different. And looking at the data and putting and placing the whole database, the drill holes and information in 3D, we are the first company to start to move this into a resource estimation scenario. We came across a situation where we identified high-grade silver and gold, no lead and zinc, more related to these high-angle faults, while the red zones here have high-grade silver and lead and zinc. You can see by the numbers here that the lead and zinc is high-grade silver because we have close to kilos of silver or more. And we can see that the blue fault zones, particularly this hole here that was drilled by First Majestic in 2018, but never released to the public, we have up to kilos of silver and high gold values as well. I'm going to show a section here so we can see in more detail what's the difference between the blue and the red. Again, the blue and red, the steep faults here, you can see that interval that I mentioned before continues up deep, showing that the blue faults can be mineralized. In the past, Grupo Mexico only looked at this 45-degree angle fault zone here, and this one was carrying pretty much only lead and zinc with some credit in silver. So we are putting all this data in 3D and preparing this area and with a plan before December to have a resource estimation at the San Juan area. And you might put some drill holes here as well. The next one is the Plomosas mine area, the area that had an underground mine. So we have an idea here. We have 8,000 meters of tunnels below this hill. Access to all the infrastructure is there. We have probably now 5 geologists full-time here in a camp for 120 people. And as soon as we get all the targets to continue to drill, we are moving the drill rig to be inside. What we are doing now, we are validating all the data of the drill holes that we received from First Majestic. And again, we are coming across the same situation. Historic and recent drill holes like this one, close to 2 meters at 30 grams per ton of gold, and no lead and zinc. That shows that we have some mineralization in other structures, other than the traditional lead and zinc that was mined by Grupo Mexico from this level up to this level. And we are discovering more lead and zinc with silver down deep as well. So the opportunity is open for outside of the zone along the strike from both directions and down deep. And again, no company ever put a resource estimation 43-101. So we are aiming to be the first company to define 43-101 resources in all of these 6 areas and drill the 16 targets at Plomosas. The next slide is just to bring to the audience more information about what we are doing at San Marcial. Even under this environment of the pandemic, we have not stopped working. Why? Because most of the employees are local. All the geologists that we have hired are living nearby, in the city nearby. The limitation has been the ability of management to fly to Mexico every month, but we've been able to operate remotely. So today we have 2 drill rigs working at Plomosas in these stars. They are targets outside of the resource area. That's this red here. The 40 million ounces of silver, 43-101, is only in the center part, 500 meters long breccia. What makes it very different and attractive and economic? It's not narrow. It's 10, 20 meters. It outcrops on surface. The grades are very attractive, not only for open pit, but also for underground. We are talking about a very attractive high-grade deposit, which can start again as open pit and migrate for underground. And we have discovered recently, in the first company to drill this property in the last 10 years, high-grade gold intervals outside of this area in all of this, some of these targets, which shows us that it's another case of silver gold, very attractive project for us to move ahead as integration with Plomosas. In a zoom here, this is the Plomosas area here, as you can see at the San Marcial resource area. These are the drill holes. We have identified that these holes are shallow, and we have opportunity to go underground and place drill holes to continue to expand the mineralization. We are going to be the first company to drill underground drill holes in this San Marcial area. We invested capital, we excavate a tunnel, and we are about to get to the point where we're going to place the drill rigs. Why? I'll show this section here. You see the reason. This section in the center of that slide. We are expanding this tunnel. We are going to get to this point here and place a series of drill holes to continue to expand the resource. Why? Because the resource is shallow, 250 meters. And we have a couple of drill holes that with results at the bottom of the resource with very attractive grades for underground mine. So from here to here, 250 meters, we are planning to drill probably 2,000 to 3,000 meters of drilling to expand this from 250 meters to 500 or even 700 meters down deep. And we have discovered some gold mineralization that we are following up here as well. So here's our next set of the timeline and milestones, what we are planning to do in the next 6 months, 12 months, 24 months. This company is in a position that we have low risk because we have a lot of data, drill hole data, so we know where to drill. We can support the growth of the company from a series of resource estimations at Plomosas, update the resource at San Marcial, combine the two projects, and start to complete some sort of preliminary economic analysis to integrate growth projects in the next 12 to 24 months. That's the story. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I'll move back to Adelaide Capital for any questions that the audience might have.